speaking of people that are tired, Tim LaComb, assistant basketball coach in the Marriott Center, well after midnight last night, but kind enough to join us this morning. Coach, are you feeling a little sleep deprived?
No, actually, I'm physically tired, but getting a win after a little stretch where we didn't have one makes you rejuvenated, and certainly feel that way today, and excited that we got the win and hopefully can get on a little bit of a run here.
What was the best part about last night's win to you?
Well, I think the best part was we didn't shoot the ball well. We really kind of struggled offensively, and it's a credit to what's San Francisco's game plan. They changed pretty much everything up. Gave us a look they hadn't shown much all year defensively, and so it was a good play by them. And our guys missed some early ones that were open. And when that happens, you kind of start to press a little bit. And I think my favorite thing was that we didn't shoot the ball well, but we turned them over 17 times on the defensive end, which led to 27 points right for us. And so where we didn't shoot the ball great, our defensive pressure kind of picked up, and we were able to score off their turnovers and off our pressure.
Yeah, those are the two stats that jumped out at me as well. What was the defensive look that they gave you that was different?
They pretty much switched every screen. Anything on ball, off ball, they just switched everything, communicate everything really well, and just didn't give us much opening. Usually when you set a ball screen, so two people commit to the ball, and there's usually somebody you can throw back to that's open, and then you kind of start the ball moving around. And everywhere we went, there was a guy. They didn't commit to the ball. They showed last game we played them. They trapped the ball a lot, which we were able to kind of spin the ball and get an open shot. We came off ball screens, and they just switched it. There was always someone there, and Coach Nash did a good job of working through it and getting us looks. But like I say, we missed some early ones, and then everybody kind of started to press a little bit. But Ty was really good last night. Really happy that he had a really good game for us, and then felt like our big guys really contributed. All of them as a committee kind of really did a good job. And Corbin Kafusi came in, got the start, and was kind of a physical presence during the game. And then as we subbed, Ryan Andrews came in and got a huge offensive rebound and put back. And then
Isaac Nielsen.
Isaac Nielsen may have turned the whole game in that little short span.
Layup. Couple free throws.
Yeah, I would say he took 2 charges last night, but only one of them. But Isaac, these guys all work really hard, and the minutes right now are a little uncertain for all of them. But they all came in, and what we've been talking to them about is just bring something positive to the team when you play, and they did that last night.
Your first close win in conference, we just talked about in games decided by 7 points or less in WCC play. You had been on the losing side of all of those. You finally get one. What does that do for your team's morale and confidence logistically? Well,
I think we've always been really confident. Coach Rose talked to the team, and I think he said with the media, if you go back and play a lot of the games that we've lost over again, we'd probably win our fair share of those. And sometimes it's a call here, a bounce there. But I think Unified, the team was really, really focused on getting it done last night, and they had a really good edge to them. And it's something we talked about, that consistent effort for 40 minutes, and it was what it took to win the game last night. It went down to the last, 5 seconds, 2 seconds, whatever, and we had to be engaged and locked into assignments. Not to say we didn't make some mistakes along the way, but we battled through them, and the guys really, really competed, which was huge.
What went into playing as many, I believe it was 12 players that played, as many players that played when they did? It was kind of a different game last night.
Yeah, we've talked a lot about, going into the season, right now we're playing with a whole different game plan than we thought going in. We'd kind of counted on the fact that Nate Austin would kind of be our rock in the middle, a guy who started the majority of his career here, is one of the, rated one of the best rebounders in the country coming into the season, and he's just had, really bad luck with his health. By this time, we also thought we'd have Jamal Aites playing for us, and he got hurt early and basically has not been able to play. So we've had to juggle. And so really the way we've looked at it in practice is we've tried to do a really good job of utilizing guys in different situations, whether it be where a guy can come in and help us get a defensive stop in a possession or two like Frank Bartley did last night, or a guy like Ryan Andrews who's got a good body and big strong kid who, great hands, that we didn't have a ton of experience or confidence with, but felt like maybe, let's start using him more in situations. And so I think the one thing Coach always does is figure it out. And Coach Rose he's a magician that way. He always figures it out. He manages his roster as good as anybody in the country. And so we've kind of taken that approach in practice where we started to kind of play and substitute and for situations. And the guys really responded really well to it all.
No question, Nate Austin has been a crucial part of this BYU basketball program, and now has had a really unfortunate turn of events, tearing his hamstring at the beginning of the Utah game, and then retweaking that thing in practice. Where is he now in terms of his potential return? Because, there's some clamoring now like, well, he might be qualified for a medical hardship or whatever. Where do you stand with Nate?
Right now, Nate is, we're just waiting for doctors to clear him. And until they clear him, we really can't make a decision. This team would really benefit from him being out on the floor. But right now, he's not cleared. And so that discussion about what's going to happen, whether it be this year or the future, we can't even really discuss that right now because we need to kind of figure out what the reality of it is. And right now, he's not cleared.
Yeah. Would you like him to play this season? Would you prefer that over, say, medical redshirt?
I don't know. I would love to have Nate on the floor. I think it just really kind of settles us down, but also you got to kind of think about what's good for him and what's the best for the program. So I'll leave that up to the guys that make way more money than I do to make
Wise
that
decision.
Yeah.
What about Jamal Ates? Is there any chance he plays this year?
Again, Jamal's in a very similar situation. Has not practiced since he had his surgery.
So in October.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he hasn't practiced. He has gotten out on the floor and gotten shots and done things like that, but he hasn't been cleared to practice. So, again, you're talking about, for us to think we could play him right now, he's not cleared. There's no, and he hasn't practiced, so that would be pretty tough as of right now.
And it's February.
Right,
yeah.
right.
So at what point do you say, okay, we're going to redshirt?
When Coach Rose decides to do that. So I'll leave that to someone way bigger than me.
That's a fair answer.
Yeah.
How have teams adjusted because you don't have the big guys and you've relied very heavily on your guards and really good guards and Anson Weiner and Kyle Collinsworth and Tyler Haws? They're putting up career numbers this year. How have teams in the West Coast Conference adjusted, like San Francisco did last night, to effectively kind of slow them down?
Well, I think we're getting different looks every night. We started this against Portland, and it was new, and we kind of caught them by surprise. And then there was one tape out there, and then we continue to do it, and there's tapes to continue. So everybody's going to kind of take a shot, a different wrinkle to try to slow us down. And then everybody's being a little bit more methodical about the way they're attacking us.
Taking more time?
Yeah, taking a little more time, and then trying to isolate that mismatch as good as they can. A lot of last night, you saw a lot of high-low stuff where they would lift their five and try to throw it in from the top, which is a really hard place to front, and it's a really hard place to double. So those are kind of the looks we're getting. We're getting different looks, but that's what I would assume will continue. Way different looks defensively every night we've got to adjust to, and then offensively probably a heavier dose of trying to go at that mismatch.
With the players, the cliche is one game at a time, and you guys really do a good job of, okay, let's stay in here. It's Santa Clara, right? Yet the goal is to get to the NCAA tournament. So how do you guys as a coaching staff kind of manage expectations and how you play these games, given that you do know, okay, we may have to go on a run here, but we don't want to put the pressure on ourselves?
Yeah, we Coach said it best. We let you guys do all that.
We will take care of that for you.
Right. All the stuff 20 years ago when, Joe Lenardi was just, some guy on the East Coast that nobody knew about. Now it's an everyday thing. You're getting updates every single day. So you'd be naive to say our guys probably don't see it or hear it. Mm-hmm. But it's not anything that we put any value in because it's all speculation right now. And there's teams in the quote-unquote bracket right now that will not be in the bracket, and there's teams that aren't that will be. And so what we try to do, and the only way you can have any success is if you win your next game. And so all of our focus is, and we get ripped on as coaches for saying it, but all of our focus has to be on Santa Clara right now, because in order for us to be the very best team we can be, we need to beat them. And that's what we've tried to talk to our guys about, is just a consistent effort, regardless of the opponent, regardless of the night, regardless of the location. Let's just be as consistent as we can, because we talked about the variables that have really hurt us this year, and right now we're just trying to focus on what we have. And the only thing we've got for sure is we know we play tomorrow. We play against Santa Clara, and we're excited about it. And we're going to put a game plan in today, and we're going to go do our very best to win that game.
Can you imagine the backlash you would get if you didn't focus one game at a time? Like, oh, yeah, we've got our minds on March.
It'd be fantastic.
Yeah.
It'd be really funny.
I would imagine there would be a ton of speculation and tweets, and it would give you guys a lot more to talk about if there was.
Yes, it would, Tim.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's end with this. Kyle Collinsworth's hip. Any update on him?
Just talked with him briefly after the game, and he was really sore. I mean, he took a heck of a fall.
He fell hard.
And he made an unbelievable play to go get that ball. He jumped as high as he's jumped all year to go get that ball. He was so determined to get it, and then came right down on his hip. So haven't heard anything this morning. We'll hear more about it, but I would imagine, just like last night, he's really sore. He's really kind of banged up, and hopefully we'll get some treatment today and be okay to go.
Tim, great to have you with us once again. Get some rest, and good luck tomorrow against Santa Clara.
Thank you. Can I say one more thing?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
My parents are watching in Texas. And
What is up?
My mom swore me to say hello to old Lance and Joni out there, so I got to do that.
Lance and Joni, what's up from BYU Sports Nation?
There you go.
We love it.
Awesome.
Thanks for the time, Tim.
Thank you.
Up next,